Welcome to the new studio space. Really excited to film the first episode of 911 medical scenes. We've done this one before. These are hyper unrealistic, but some good medical learnings to be had. Let's get started. Whoop.
Your son seems to have his head on his shoulders. Well, now, anyway.
Are they playing golf in the rain? It also feels like fake rain, like from a sprinkler.
You're some piece of work, Billy.
So I've been told.
When thunder roars, go indoors. But lightning strikes do happen. 24 deaths a year in the US about. Actually, 1/3 of them happen indoors. So the recommendation from the CDC to keep yourself safe from lightning strikes is to not do the dishes, to stay away from plumbing, not to take showers, not to use electrical equipment because it can travel through the electricity in your home and through plumbing. So it's just about sitting, being peaceful and meditating. And it goes without saying, being outdoors in a thunderstorm is not generally safe. Standing near tall objects is not generally safe. Like trees, that's a really bad idea.
Someone call 911!
Okay, that's actually the first thing you should do after a lightning strike when it comes to first aid. Call for help. And then it's about trying to help the person in their time of need. Meaning if they're vomiting, you want to turn them on their side. If they're pulseless, you know what you do. Chest compressions, chest compressions, chest compressions.
Thought we could move on to
Is she withdrawing from heroin?
so itchy.
Or maybe just acute intoxication with the substance?
I'm sorry,
He's wearing cross stripes on a shirt that has plaid on it? My man, pick one or the other. Whoa. Okay, this is some kind of psychosis-related excoriation where they start scratching themselves thinking that there's insects on them or something.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Bro, she's stabbing herself with a fork. Can you show a little compassion?
Right, we were going to everything to portfolio projections and first quarter profits, which we hope will double.
Liza, what are you doing? Liza, what are you doing? Liza!
These are officially the least caring colleagues I've ever seen in my life. She's scratching herself with a fork, having some sort of medical situation occur, and they're just annoyed.
To your knowledge, was Liza on any substances?
No, she was 2 years sober. She knew better than that.
Just because someone says they're 2 years sober doesn't mean that that's the case. And also, as a police officer, if someone says no, move on. There's no point trying to push through in a situation like this. You test the blood and then you find out the answer.
Several victims suffering seizures, 2 people stabbed themselves. All symptoms came without warning. EPG special response is on its way. In the meantime, it rounded up everybody who's still standing.
I've never seen anything like this, Cap.
We need to get these people transported.
We're not going anywhere to know what we're dealing with.
I mean, I would get everyone out of the building instantly because, first of all, you don't know if this is an inhalation situation or an oral ingestion, so something weird is happening here.
What'd you have for lunch? Skipped it. Big breakfast. Wait for it. I know who did this.
What?
Mercury.
Did this police officer / paramedic, I can't tell who this is speaking, know that this is mercury poisoning before he even opened up the sandwich? No, never gonna happen. And first of all, that type of mercury doesn't really get absorbed well in the digestive tract. Only through respiratory, and then it can actually spread throughout the body, be neurotoxic and hurt the lungs, all that. The danger of that mercury is if it gets aerosolized, like with a vacuum or something or a fan. So the fact that they're all just breathing it in and chilling, that's not ideal.
I'm too scared. It's bad.
Oh, come on now, little man. Let me take a look at you. Just a toy.
Oh.
Okay.
Told you it's bad, huh?
We actually have tools for this in the ER to pull things out of noses. I just wouldn't do it on a roof. Because let's say you do it and it hurts the child and they move weird, they can fall off the roof. So get into a safe environment first, ideally an emergency room.
Okay, Harry. Showtime. Now, on the count of 3, I want you to blow your nose like you have the biggest booger in the world in there, okay? Okay.
I mean, for small things that could work, but for larger things like that, I wouldn't start doing it because you're drastically increasing intracranial pressure. So if you can just pull it out with tweezers, in an emergency room setting, do that.
Okay, no worries. Just means we're gonna have to go to plan B where I use my special toy car removal device.
You promise it won't hurt though, right?
Yup.
Or you could just be honest with the child and not lie and say, it's gonna be very quick, move the subject along, say that it's gonna hurt less than leaving that thing in there. So you're creating an honest answer, but still keeping the child calm.
Okay, buddy.
Why standing? Why in the forest? If he starts having a major nosebleed, what are you gonna do in the field?
No. Got it!
This is like a bunch of dudes came together and said, we're gonna be doctors in the field. And they started practicing medicine.
How?
After you left, I kept wondering how Harry got it so far up there.
So you figured it out. Tweezers.
No. What the husk? Why is there lava in the pool? Was this house built on an erupting volcano?
Chad! Wait, stop!
Let's make tonight unforgettable.
Why is this turning into a rave? They're putting rave music on while someone's dying. Okay, so when you have burns that are this bad, you could actually start tearing skin off just by applying the slightest amount of pressure. In a situation like this, obviously the risk of doing that is worth it because you want to save their life. And one of the ways people lose their lives here is from a lack of hydration. When you have such severe burns, you actually release a huge amount of different electrolytes into your bloodstream, which can be toxic to certain cells of your body, especially your cardiac cells. So hydrating people that are going through really bad burns is of utmost importance. It's like the first step. And then also knowing that when your skin is not intact, you actually lose a lot more fluids throughout the day.
Thank you guys for everything.
He's like Iron Man, but not.
Oh my God, is that the thing that's keeping you alive?
It was. It is now an antique.
We have to extract it.
Here? Cap, that's impossible.
We don't, it cooks his heart.
But if we take it out, he'll bleed to death.
Not if the heat from the rock cauterized everything around it.
What if it didn't?
We don't have a choice. Look, damn thing's sinking into him. Clamp, now.
The confidence level these first responders have to make medical decisions is impressive. You know, as someone who's worked in a hospital a decade, I have no idea what to do in that situation. I'd probably take it off, but.
What are you doing? No!
Oh, is this an MRI? Oh no. Just for people to know, there's a few types of imaging that we get in the hospital. Some are X-ray. CAT scans are basically X-rays with many slices. And then you have MRIs, which is magnetic resonance imaging, where we actually use spinning magnets in order to visualize the body in a way that doesn't create radiation. So there's no harm from the imaging. There may be indirect harms from finding out the results, but the actual process itself is not harmful to humans, with the exception of if they have some metallic parts on their body or they walk into a room with metallic items.
There should be a safety button in there that'll overheat the magnet and kill it.
The problem is we can't access the button. It's on the front of the machine.
Which I'm assuming is somewhere behind that gurney. Okay, tell your staff to step away, please.
What about the metal in our uniforms?
I was just getting to that. Help me! Help me!
We're gonna get you down, but I need you to...
There are safety standards. It's called OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration. I hope I said that right. Where you don't need to go in your friggin' lingerie to go and rescue someone.
His airways are clear, but I'm hearing a stridor. Possible pneumothorax.
What is the use in talking about his lungs like he's an inpatient in a hospital when he's acutely jammed? You guys can get dressed now.
Bilateral chest raise.
What does that mean? It means your lungs didn't collapse.
Why does it hurt so much?
Because you cracked some ribs.
Chest rise, first of all. And that means he doesn't have flailed chest, which means that his ribs aren't broken. I would not go ahead and venture to say that his lungs aren't injured. I would like to hear bilateral breath sounds in all lung fields in order to say there's no pneumothorax.
When I left my ex, Julian, he said that he would ruin my life. And ever since our divorce, I've been feeling, I don't know, different.
Liza, are you all right?
Is she pregnant? Oh, she has some kind of very aggressive parasite.
I need you to hold still for me, okay? And you should close your eyes for this part. A little tug.
I don't know if this is ideal for people to do in the field, given the fact that some of these worms can actually attach to the intestines through like hooks and such, and then as a result, by ripping them out, you can actually cause trauma.
What is that?
Roundworm, by the looks of it.
There's different types of roundworms. Almost all of them are treatable by medications called like albendazole or melbendazole. These are just anti-parasitic, anti-worming, deworming agents. Could be a hookworm, could be a pinworm. Hookworms are usually a little bit bigger and they can actually enter your body through skin, going through feces-ridden soil in underdeveloped nations. It can actually end up in your intestines, as gross as that sounds. Sometimes the pinworms can lay eggs surrounding the anus and then like a young child can scratch that area and pass it on to others. That's why daycare centers oftentimes have outbreaks. And there's a test we do, it's called the Scotch tape test, where overnight we actually put a piece of Scotch tape on the anus and then take it off, bring it in, look at microscope, see if there's eggs on it.
Liza, are you okay? She must have aspirated some of the material. TK, track her O2 levels.
So that can happen sometimes if you vomit from a laying down position. You can get some of the vomit into your lungs. And that can be quite problematic because in vomit, there's acid. Acid going into the lungs can create a pneumonitis. And over time, can even create a pneumonia.
She's setting at 90 cap.
If you're satting low, that means that you're not oxygenating your blood. She also looks like she's unconscious and not breathing. And if you should check her and she doesn't have a pulse, you should start chest compressions.
Nancy, start compressions.
Well, thank you.
Bastantísima muerta la blanca. With your presence, you can...
Those are the worst chest compressions. She's pushing on her friggin' throat. This is a 911 show. They don't have a medical specialist on board to say stop pushing on their throat.
By your great power, heal this woman.
We've got her back.
Oh, well, I'm just gonna have that lady be with all my patients and saying nice things. Inhaler. By the way, for those who have asthma that's triggered by colds, it usually happens as a result of overreaction to the cold air, and sometimes even to the cold, dry air, and it causes a type of bronchoconstriction. There are some people that, especially before exercise, in what we call EIB, which is exercise-induced bronchospasm from cold weather like this, can actually get relief by using an asthma inhaler before the sport, and then they actually don't need it afterwards. There's a huge amount of worry in parents in children who have exercise-induced bronchospasm to the point where they're like, oh, I'm not gonna have my child play sports. It's the exact opposite. Playing sports is good for them. And a lot of athletes actually have some kind of exercise-induced asthma or just maybe regular asthma altogether, and they still perform very high caliber. Whoa. It's cold in that water. His heart rate's definitely slowing as a result of a dive reflex. That's so scary. Never let children play on ice. There is something to be said about drowning in really cold water where it actually slows the heart rate down through that dive reflex. And as a result, makes your body require less metabolic demand. Means that you can survive a little bit longer without brain injury. Rewarming protocol is really important here.
Does that mean he's dead? No, ma'am. You're not dead until you're warm and dead. We're gonna do some rapid rewarming, and hopefully we'll be able to get him back.
When we say rapid rewarming, we not only can put, obviously, heat packs around the body, etc., but we could also give warmed up fluids throughout the body as well through the IV. And those are the worst chest compressions I've ever seen in my life.
Get the portable ECMO machine. Copy that. Got it.
What is this?
You, ma'am. Yes. Please tell me your heater works.
Look, what is she doing? What is this? She's literally going like this. I just broke my webcam.
It's that time, y'all, to find out who's got the sheer audacity to take on Terry's 96-ounce challenge, which is about 78 ounces more sirloin than any mortal should eat in one sit.
78 ounces of sirloin is a huge load of fats and sodium. That's where my main concern comes from. Because like, if you eat a lot of protein, okay, whatever. But sodium, quite dangerous. Fat, could be problematic. It can start forming gallbladder issues, just nausea, vomiting. Oh, and that's a concussion.
Stay here for a minute. We're gonna get you out of here as soon as possible. Sonia, is there any chance that you're pregnant?
No! Pregnant with prime rib.
BP is 90/60.
But her heart rate's 116. I don't think it's a heart attack.
You don't judge whether or not someone's having a heart attack if they're hypotensive and tachycardic. Hypotensive meaning low blood pressure, tachycardic meaning high heart rate. In fact, when someone becomes hypotensive, that means that they don't have enough fluid or something's going on where they're losing blood. They're basically losing volume in their circulatory system, in their plumbing system. When you don't have enough pressure there, you can't get the blood to certain areas of the body, like the brain and vital organs. Your heart can try and compensate for this by pumping faster, so it becomes tachycardic, it becomes a faster heart rate. That's cardiac output. So the fact that this person says, oh, she's not having a heart attack or she's having a fast heart rate is complete BS.
Can you tell me what year it is?
Tuesday.
Concussion?
Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, she hit her head. It makes total sense.
Her bladder's distended.
Perforated stomach, it's an eating contest.
Why are they diagnosing her? Stabilize and bring to the emergency room.
Is that her place there with the empty pitchers?
Oh, yeah, she was throwing them back.
This is hyponatremia.
Water intoxication.
We need to reposition her.
No. You do not look at empty glasses and say someone has water intoxication. You stabilize them so that they're not dying in the field. You bring them to the hospital and you allow people to do a blood test that will very quickly confirm or deny your supposed diagnosis here.
Grab me a catheter and a Foley bag. We need to divert fluids now.
Divert fluid from where?
Captain, shouldn't we get her on the rig and let the hospital handle this? We give her a catheter now, we can be liable.
Her bladder's about to burst. It's my call.
How does she know her bladder's about to burst? When someone becomes hyponatremic and their sodium level drops below 135, usually that happens as a result of medications or health conditions like kidney issues, but it could also happen through something process known as water psychosis, where people who are not in a well mental state chug a lot of water, and that essentially dilutes the amount of sodium that's in the bloodstream. Because when you have low sodium, that could mean you have excess fluid or actually low sodium, that you're getting rid of too much sodium. So in a person who consumes a lot of water, they end up diluting the sodium level. As a result, tissues start to swell. And the reason tissues swell is because the water starts leaving, in order to try and equalize, leaving the bloodstream and goes into cells. And when they swell, that can become problematic, especially in areas of the brain where there's limited space. Swelling can actually cause brain death.
Mateo, unplug the battery. Judd, Marjan, make sure there isn't any fluid leaking that's gonna ignite.
Face shield stuck, Cap.
No, leave it alone. Don't force it. Let's just see what we're dealing with first. TK, put him on the life pack.
Copy, Cap.
Hey, sir, we are here to help. Can you tell me your name?
Looks like he has a subconjunctival hemorrhage.
BP spiking, Cap.
We're looking at possible orbital compartment syndrome.
No, you're not! Stop making up things! I'll give 15 right now different diagnoses that are more likely than what she just said. This person is on drugs because they're wearing a night costume out in the middle of the day. They have a concussion because they just got hit by a car. They have a brain bleed, which could be a subdural or epidural hematoma. They could actually have an aneurysm that's ruptured. They could just have cranial hemorrhage. They could also be having cardiac arrest because of chest trauma. Like, the amount of things that could be going on before she makes this ridiculous diagnosis is insane.
BP's coming back down to earth, Cap.
Cap, look at his lips. And I do not like this rash.
It's erythema.
Like, that could be a raccoon sign because he fractured his basilar skull plate.
This isn't a regular head wound. This is carbon monoxide poisoning.
Must say. Which explains the delirium.
How did she get to carbon monoxide poisoning?
Well, this could be something. About 5 blocks from you, there's a novelty pizza place, swords and slices.
Come on, man. Carbon monoxide poisoning is very real. If people die every year in the United States because of carbon monoxide poisoning, it's usually the result of a terrible accident. Going into a well-ventilated space solves that issue. And the reason carbon monoxide poisoning even happens is because the carbon monoxide actually displaces the oxygen on the hemoglobin, which is the oxygen carrying portion of the red blood cell that now can't carry oxygen. And as a result, you start having really bad health effects.
It's a medieval mass casualty.
Yeah, it's a good thing they weren't open yet.
And what, they don't have a CO2 detector?
Judd, why don't you find the control and shut it down?
Why don't you get the people outside and that will help all of them?
We're gonna need more O2 off the truck.
No good.
Yeah,
Just used the last cylinder O2 about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, so how about bringing them to a medical center instead of treating them right there on the street?
We should eat here sometime. Place seems dope.
Want to learn the secret to happiness? Click here for my interview with the professor, the doctor of happiness, most viral TED Talk on happiness, actually. Click here to check that out. And as always, stay happy and healthy.